Hello and welcome to the A Cuppa with Anna podcast. And surprisingly enough, that means that people get to come and have a cup of tea with me and talk about their lives. And we talk a lot about creativity and well-being in the hope that we'll inspire lots of other people out there to get creative and look after their well-being. I hope that was all right, because I just made that up as I went along, Erin, because it's like
Yeah, good.
this is like the first one, and I feel really embarrassed now, and I think my face has got a bit red. So
Not a good I'm not anymore. Yep.
it's like pressure. It's been a while. So for this very first podcast, I am joined by Erin, and Erin, I was trying to like write a little intro to you just now, and I was like, I can call you the Aussie artist, and it's kind of got like it's like it kind of has a ring to it. So Erin is a Australian artist, and generally just lovely, interesting person. So welcome. Thank you for being my first ever guest on the podcast.
Thank you for inviting me to be your first ever guest.
Yay, I'm so glad it's actually happening.
Ooh, we're live.
Yeah, it took a few attempts to get here, didn't it?
Yeah.
How's your morning been?
Not too bad. Just been doing the boring stuff today.
Oh right. What does that consist of?
I had to go out and get some supplies. Now that we're in isolation, so that trip, and just cleaning and tidying up, all that boring, ordinary things.
Yeah, I'm finding the chores really enjoyable at the moment. Just
Are you?
Yeah, it's all a bit strange. I look forward to cleaning the toilet and hoovering. It's like it's an activity of the day. I think we're on day 11 of lockdown, aren't we? I think it's day 11. I was just like calculating it in my head.
All right.
Have you done any?
It doesn't feel that long yet, so that's not too bad.
Yeah, I think it's gone quicker. This week seems to be going a bit quicker, I think. Have you done anything new or outrageous or tried anything new? Has this lockdown brought out a new side to you?
Nothing brand new, but I've been working more than I thought I would be, so focusing on the art a bit more. But I think that's me procrastinating, so I don't have to think about all the other crazy stuff that's going on.
I love how you said that. Like, we were talking the other day, you're like, oh, I actually procrastinate by doing art now. I'm like, yeah. That's what you want.
I know. Why couldn't I have worked that out before?
Anyway, let's get to some more specific questions. So what I would like to know is, when did you remember first getting into art?
Well, getting into it as an adult, probably, well, in the last couple of years, but I've been drawing and sketching and just creating all sorts of things since I was a little kid. My grandfather taught me to draw for the first time. I don't know how old I was, maybe 5 or 6-ish. When I would visit them, he was quiet in the corner, here, draw this. And so he was a self-taught artist, and he used to keep my brother and I busy with his books that he had that he learnt to draw and paint from. So we would sit there drawing cartoons and doing little pastel pictures and things. So I think I picked it up from there originally. And I've just always created bits and pieces and paintings and all sorts. Yeah.
So you say that it's in the last couple of years that you've kind of got into it more seriously. So are you saying that it was kind of just a bit of a hobby before that, and then what kind of got you to be doing it more seriously now? How did that happen?
I think I just wasn't enjoying my work life at the time. A few years back, I was just done the whole corporate world, and I just was bored with it and wasn't getting any enjoyment from it. And I think I just started to realize that there's something missing. What did I used to do? What was my thing? And that was one of the things. I was always creating something, and so I think it just came from there. And
you just got fed up, and you're like, that little inner creative is still there.
Mm-hmm.
It's so true, isn't it? They say to people, if you're not happy in your work or whatever, ask yourself the question, what did I love when I was a kid? And it's almost like we already kind of know, don't we?
It's already there.
We just get lost along the way somewhere, caught up in jobs that we don't necessarily like. So what kind of inspires your art? You know, obviously you're from Australia. You've traveled around a bit recently as well, haven't you?
Yeah.
So do you take any sort of inspiration from different countries, or is there something else that you like?
Most recently, just around here in Devon, actually, just anything natural. I haven't really painted a lot from my travels. It's something I've thought of doing, but I just haven't put the effort into making that happen. But I'm sure I will at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, just I like plants and flowers, although I'm not very good at painting flowers. That's something to work on. But yeah, like recently went out to the Bicton Gardens before everything got shut down, and I really liked the scene there, and it was a nice day. And yeah, so I painted a picture from that day. What else? Oh, recently I went to Cornwall, to Newquay. I hadn't been there before, and I was walking around by myself and really enjoyed it. And so I painted a little scene in gouache of that as well. It's not very realistic. All my stuff comes out a bit cartoony, but I think that's
I think that, I mean, you know, where better to live than Devon, you know, to just be full of inspirational places, and yeah, you're in the good spot.
Yeah, it really is beautiful. Feel very lucky to be here.
So what brought you over here from Australia then?
My husband's work. So we left Australia just over 3 years ago. We went to the Middle East first, to Abu Dhabi, so we lived there for just under 2 years, and then followed his work again to here, to Exeter. So yeah,
how did you find living in Abu Dhabi? What did you think of that?
It was good. There was lots of highs there, like lots of things to do, and like lots of fun things to keep you busy. Different to anywhere else, though, I think, because there's such a big expat community. There is this really big hub of people that are pretty much all in the same or similar situation to you. Not everyone, obviously, but yeah, it was easy to find friends and socialise there because everyone's kind of doing the same thing.
And how have you found that, sort of moving around and almost having to leave people behind? Like, what's that been like? Do you find you take that in your stride, or is it quite difficult?
I find it more difficult now, actually, which is weird. You think it'd be the other way around, but we left quite quickly. It was just a decision we had to make in short time, and so it was all exciting, and you didn't have time to really consider that it wasn't it is a good choice, but we didn't have time to panic about it or worry about it or talk ourselves out of it. Or
yeah, probably a good thing. Yeah.
So it's a blessing in that way. Just get on with it. Decision. So, but now I think I've got more time to think about it, and I miss people, and I miss my dogs. They live with my family.
Have you seen them on Skype recently?
Not recently, but I get pictures, and we try the Skype thing, but I don't think they can pick up our voices through the computer, so they just look at you like, I don't know who you are.
See, you really need a dog. Like, you need a dog in lockdown, don't you? So you need an animal.
Cuddles.
Yeah, I know. I'm making do with my cuddly toy. You know, it's just, I have to suffice.
Yeah.
Back. Should have brought it over with me, actually. On screen. Back to your art. So we've talked a little bit about, obviously, you're very inspired by nature. What's your sort of process with your art? I mean, sort of talk me through when you start something and then finish it. Is it all different, or do you have a specific way?
I don't know. That's something that's hard for me to explain, because I don't know that I have a process. I think the more I try to have a set way of doing things, it turns me off doing it. So I'm finding that like when I prepare a picture, if I do a sketch first and then I go and like redo the sketch to do the painting, it feels like too much work. I don't like redoing it. So I'm finding that if I just do an initial very vague outline and then just paint it and just see what happens, that seems to be working for me at the moment. So
yeah, it's a horrible question. I know, like, as a songwriter, when I've been asked that, I'm like, every song's different. Like, I don't know, it just kind of happens. But I have spoke to people who do have like a set process. So okay, that's Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, your work's gorgeous. So anyone who's
Oh,
listening,
thank
you
you.
can check out Erin's work on I follow you on Instagram. What's your
Yeah,
Instagram page?
it's Erin O and then underscore Donnell, DONNELL underscore art. It's a bit long, but all the other names are taken.
Remember that, people. And I'm going to mention now that, you know, when you're looking for Erin's page, you want to look out for colour, because your work is very, very colourful, which I think is what initially like really attracted me to your work. Like, I'm obsessed with colour. I love it. It's just, look at like colourful painting and you just feel so much happier, don't you?
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the colour behind your work, because, you know, you really pack it with colour, and it just brings the whole page to life.
Yeah, I don't know where that comes from. I guess I love color as well, and it just never feels complete if it doesn't have all that color in it. Especially pink, I like to put a bit of, even if it's not all pink, just there has to be a splash of bright pink in there somewhere.
Yeah.
But it usually is the pinks, the turquoises, green ends up in there a lot. So there's no thought process behind it. It's just, I think that's just me expressing who I am in some way.
Yes, you're just
Yeah.
colourful, and you're just all the colours coming out.
Yeah.
Because I think pink and green are like two of my favourite colours, so it's great because I can like guarantee that like it's always my favourite colours in your work. Tell me a bit about some of the obstacles and challenges that you come up against being an artist.
They're mostly all self-imposed. Self-doubt's a big one for me. Just lack a bit of confidence. And I don't know where that comes from. Maybe it's just an artist thing. I think a lot of creatives do have that struggle as well, but we think it's all only us.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's so big, like in your own head, isn't it? And body, it's like, it's just me.
Yeah. So yeah, that's one. Haven't overcome it yet. I don't know if you're meant to or ever will, but working through just doing it anyway and putting myself out there. So yeah.
Yeah. And are you working on anything specific at the moment?
Haven't got anything going right at this minute, but I just finished the one I said earlier last week or the start of this week. Just been busying myself with boring stuff this week. So yeah, maybe next week I'll get back into it.
You did a sketch, didn't you, as well, of your husband like working from the table?
Yeah, that actually that's the only thing.
It's great. Like, you're both at work, you know, he's doing his work and then you're doing your work like by drawing him. It's cool.
Yeah, it's just unusual because that's not how he works normally. So we're just documenting the situation at the moment.
Is there anyone that inspires you particularly? Do you have artists that you kind of look up to, or is there anyone that you're a bit wowed by?
I can't think of anyone coming to mind at the moment, but I follow lots of people on Instagram that I really like, and yeah, just I love their work. Anyone that's kind of abstracty, bright colours, of course. I've been seeing a lot of people do like farm field landscapes, slightly really abstract with like colours, and I really like that style. So whoever's doing that, I'm into that.
So it's not necessarily any sort of big names. It's just if you come across something and you like it. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm curious to know what your advice would be for anyone out there at the moment in lockdown, and you know they're bored and maybe procrastinating and not doing the things they want to do. I mean, I've got a massive pile here next to me of kind of arty stuff that I haven't got to, and they just want to get going with some drawing. What would you say to them? What could they do?
Just start. Doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It's not brain science, is it?
Well, this actually is something I struggle with a lot. Starting. So it's just choosing to do it. Get your piece of paper and your pencil, whatever you're using, and just start. Yep. And then you'll probably enjoy yourself no matter what it turns out like. So just keep going.
That is so hard though, isn't it? Because I know I've actually completed a song in a week, which I'm really impressed by. I can't believe I've done it. But just some days trying to make myself just pick the guitar, it's like I'm having to tug at my entire being. My being's going no, and it's like, and it feels like a chore. It feels, whereas it's something I love once I'm doing it, and it is frustrating.
yeah, what is that? Why do we do that?
Yeah, it's like you're about to sit down and do something that you love, you know. Actually, I watched an Elizabeth Gilbert TED Talk yesterday. Have you seen any of her TED Talks?
I have seen some of them, yeah.
I
do
thought you
like
might have. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I was watching one, and she talked a lot about that, and she was saying that you know, she's like she believes like creativity is everywhere in the air, doesn't she? And then the creativity is waiting for somewhere to go or land. She's like, well, I'm showing up for my part of the deal. I'm sat here writing, you know. And I think so many creators that I've talked to have just said like 80% of it is that you just have to show up.
Yep.
It's very bizarre.
Yeah,
hopefully I'll talk myself into showing up a bit more now. Now I'm like babbling on about this.
Me too.
We can do it. So I've got a little pot of random questions here, which I'm going to select to ask you, because I'm obsessed with questions. I just think they're cool. Let's have a look. All right. Tell us about a standout moment from yesterday. So a moment yesterday that stands out.
Oh my gosh, I can't even remember yesterday. It's all blending.
I know, like, what day is it?
What day is it? Yesterday, I went outside. Well, I've been going outside every day anyway, but I'm lucky to have a lot of outdoor space nearby me. So I've been making the effort to do that. And I took myself my little picnic blanket outside and my journal, and because I was just overthinking about things, and thought I'm going to take this outside. So that was a nice moment. The sun was out. It wasn't warm. Well, for me, it wasn't warm. And but yeah, it was nice. Got the air on my face and just nutted out some thoughts, and yeah, that was
and
nice.
Did it help? Did it help sort of going outside and like journaling?
Yeah.
Did it really help?
Yeah, I think it always does. Just getting that fresh air and a change of space, and just change your perspective on things. So, yeah.
It is so important. I especially think, isn't it, like through a period like this of lockdown, like I bet so many people out there have got busy heads. Like I've got a really busy head. In the middle of the night at the moment, I keep waking up with my head going like, and it's like, oh, and it's pen and paper, everyone, just pen and paper. Get it out, whatever's in there.
Journal it out.
Swear words. Mine have a lot of swear words at the moment. I know, and I always come across so nice. All right, let's go for another one. You just never know what you're going to get.
Nervous.
Oh, okay. When you look back on your life, what one thing would you change?
It's a hard one. I don't know. I'm not someone that thinks like that. I think like I don't think I have a lot of regrets about anything. I think things happen I don't want to speak for everyone, but for me, like the way that they're meant to, or I like to see the positive side of things if there is one, or that you can't change what happens. So I don't know if I have an answer to that one.
There's nothing you change. Well, there you go. There's your answer. Oh, this is a really easy one now. You're going to like me for this one. Okay. What's your favourite flower?
Oh, I have a few different ones. I like dahlias. They're nice. Yeah. Different ones, and they're always big and happy, and but I also like tulips. Tulips are a good one. They're probably my two favourite.
And do you like because tulips you can buy bunches, can't you, that are all colourful ones?
Yes.
They're so nice, aren't they?
Yeah. I mean, I love all flowers, but they're my favourites.
All right. Let's find another one. Oh, not many people like this one, but I'm going to ask it anyway because I think this is something that we all need to get better at.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me 3 things that you like about yourself.
Oh, this is a hard one.
I mean, I could just like reel loads off like to you of things that I really like about you, but it's really interesting trying to get people to actually answer it for themselves.
Yeah, that's probably one of the hardest things you could ask. It's like, I don't like talking about myself in that way, you know.
This happens with everyone. It's just like, yeah,
Brings out awkwardness.
Yeah.
Things I like. Well, just going back to what I said before, I like to see the positive sides in things if I can find one. So that's one thing. I think I'm fairly friendly. I like to get on with people as much as I can. What else? Oh, that's two. You might have to throw in the third one.
Well, no, I'm going to squeeze it out of you. Come on, there's so many more.
That I'm flexible in life. Like, you know, I can kind of go with the flow. Maybe sometimes too much, but adaptable. Maybe that's more the word. I've had to adapt to different circumstances.
Yeah.
Especially becoming an expat, that really happened with that. There's been lots of uncertainties and change in circumstances, and you've just had to. Well, I've just had to go. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see where this goes.
That's probably really helping with the current situation as well, that you've got experience of quite a lot of constant change. And yeah,
that's true. I think so.
Yeah. Oh, I thought there were three. Yes, very good answers. I would agree.
Four still there, but we got there.
I'm sure we can find several more. All right, let's do some more. I love these. Tell us about something that you would love to achieve.
I'd like to be a successful artist. Feels more like a hobby at the moment, but I'm hoping to put myself out there a bit more and, you know, actually have an income from it at some point. So that would be nice.
So when you say successful, is that, you know, it's basically just so that you're making a bit more money from it? Is that kind of your idea of success, or is it kind of like, kind of what is your idea of success?
That's also a difficult question. I think money's part of it. It's part of it. But it's kind of like the justification of what you're doing. Like, you're getting, that's a way of getting feedback, isn't it? If people like what you're doing and they're willing to pay for it. But it's not everything. More fulfillment in myself, I guess, that I feel like I've accomplished that. I'm doing that. I've gotten over my fear of trying to sell something. I think that I haven't got to that point yet.
Yeah. Okay. No,
Hope that makes sense.
Well, okay. We've done tips for anyone out there who wants to start drawing. So basically, they just need to start drawing. Now, as we're kind of almost in a maybe just resist all the resistance and push over it.
Anyway.
As we're in a kind of a slightly, well, ever so slightly desert island situation. Not much, actually. We've got a lot more home comforts than desert island. If you were kind of put on a desert island, what 3 things would you need to have with you?
Need or would just like to have?
Just 3 things you can't live without, really. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I like coffee. I won't lie about that. I will have at least 1 cup a day, so I'm pretty moderate in it, but it's kind of my treat for the start of the day. So coffee, I'll say that. And what else? I like my essential oils. They're a big part of my most days. They just make you feel nice. They smell good, and they can be a good mood changer too if you're in a bit of a funk. So I'd like to have those with me. And what else?
That's like so. Normally it's just one side, but you did like the 2 sides of the tapping on the face. That's great. It's like unique.
I'm like thinking extra hard. What else would I like?
Chocolate?
Chocolate? Yes. That would be good.
I would take
You're a
chocolate.
chocoholic, don't you? Blanking there. I was like, I don't know, what else would I need? I didn't want to say water or air because that's obvious, but yeah, chocolate would be good.
Okay. What song would you take? If you could take a song, what song would you take?
Anything by Ed Sheeran. I like him at the moment. Maybe your Fleetwood Mac. We go old school.
I love a bit of Fleetwood Mac. Oh, I'm so going to listen to some Fleetwood Mac later now.
I don't know why.
Yeah. Erin, what do you tend to do to sort of look after your well-being? You just talked a little bit about you like to use your essential oils and your diffuser, and you know, helps you out when your head's in a funk. I love it how it's like, yeah, it's like when my head's in a funk.
Yeah.
It's like an Aussie thing. I like it. It sounds cool. It kind of lightens the whole kind of head thing. Anyway, is there anything else that you do specifically to really look after your well-being?
I don't do anything consistently. That's something also I need to work on, but I do like a bit of yoga. Mostly just do that at home at the moment, but when I can, I do like to go to a class every now and again. Qigong, I'm into a bit of Qigong, although I don't do that as much.
I saw that you did it because you put one on your Instagram stories, didn't you, and slowed it down. It looked so cool. It looked lovely.
Yeah, it's an easy one. I mean, I don't know that much about it yet. I'd like to delve into that a bit more, but it's an easy way to shift the energy and just wake up in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you inspired me with that because I just ordered myself a new yoga mat. So I thought, like, during this time I can go out on the, I'm lucky to have like some decking outside the house and a garden, so I can go out on the decking with my new extra thick yoga mat.
Oh, perfect.
And just try some of it. But like you say, it's getting in the routine, isn't it? It's trying to keep the consistency when there's lots of distractions around.
Yes. Another thing I talk myself out of, you know, I enjoy it when I do it, and then it's just like out in the morning and I'm like, I should do some yoga, and I'm going to go do something else first. But I need to get myself back in the habit.
Yeah.
It's a good opportunity to at the moment, actually.
Yeah. Okay. And obviously, as well as the art as well, that's just therapeutic, isn't it? Anyway, once you're sitting down and doing that. Erin, thank you. Pardon?
I said it can be quite meditative.
Yeah, well, no, because we did that little bit of drawing together that day, and I mean, I'm not a drawer like I used to be, but it's like it's got so in the zone. It was like, wow, actually, I think I might do this rather than meditation. It's a bit easier. Like trying to meditate at the moment, it's just like, oh.
Yeah. Not so good at that.
Yeah.
Trying, I think, is the word, isn't it? Trying too hard.
Yeah, definitely. Right, I'm going to do one more question from the pot, and then we'll wrap up and we'll let everyone know again how they can find you. Aha! This is a good one to end on too.
Oh, okay.
So you have a day to yourself, although you get lots of days to yourself anyway. You have a day to yourself, and you're going to take yourself on a date. So just you. So this is like your idea of like a perfect day. What does your day look like?
Ooh, well, around Devon, I am quite partial to going to a National Trust house and having a cream tea.
Oh, yes.
So that's probably, that's an easy one. I do that a lot, actually. Well, not at the moment, but
yeah.
You know.
Is there anything else you do on this ideal day?
A walk.
Mm-hmm.
To go for a walk. And then if I was back home, I'd obviously create something, paint or
so like fresh air, nature and art, really, which is very much sort of who you are, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Erin, thank you so much for being my first guest on the podcast.
Thank you.
I'm really worried now. I hope it's been okay.
I hope it's okay.
Yeah, it's been really nice chatting to you. I
enjoyed it.
And I just feel like there's more I want to ask now, and this like always happens. But before we go, so tell us again where people can find your work.
Okay, so I'm on Instagram. It's Erin O and then _ Donnell DONNELL_art. Okay.
And lastly, do you have any artwork next to you that you can show us?
I do. I did bring some in just in case.
Good.
You need a
sure. For the people who are watching this, if you're obviously on the podcast, then you have to imagine
Well, these ones are on the Instagram too, so you can go there.
Okay, yeah.
These are the ones I mentioned earlier. So this is the one in Newquay.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. So it's gouache. They're both gouache paintings. And then this one was at Victon Gardens.
Nice. Who's the person, Erin, in it?
Don't know.
It looks like me.
Familiar.
Erin and I, we went to Victon Gardens, and I'm so excited because when I saw that you'd put me in the painting, like I was like, oh my god, I'm famous! Like that's so cool. So sad.
Well, we're not that famous, but hope so.
I'm so in love with that painting. It's so beautiful. So yes, when we're allowed out again, I definitely want a print of that one. So what are you heading off to do now for the rest of the day? Are you heading into a different room, or are you going outside?
No, just try a different room. I might go outside for a little bit. It looks like it's a bit sunny at the moment. So we'll do that and finish doing my chores. Back to the boring things.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to think. I need to do some exercise. I've not done a lot of exercise. I took up hula hooping yesterday, so I might do some hula hooping. I know, but I could put the video up, and then I was like, is that a bit dodgy? Yeah, I know. I'm not sure. Anyway, it's gone now. Thankfully, Instagram stories only last for 24 hours, don't they? So it's fine. Thank you so much for joining me, Erin. And maybe we'll catch up again at the end of lockdown and see where everyone's at.
Yes. Well, take care.
Yeah, you too. I'm gonna press stop recording, but stay there.